Closure is something we seek at the finality of something. We might desire closure after any relationship ends or any equation with the person does not work out. In cases, we might want closure after an ending of a toxic relationship, either with a family or friend or any member. Closure is important because it gives both parties the opportunity to own their part in why the relationship or the equation did not work. You get to apologize and wish each other well. It helps one to close the door and move forward in a healthy way. When searching for closure, the main goal is to get answers to unresolved matters. But is it worth the hassle, or is it better to leave things as they are and move on? You may want to know that why closure might keep you from healing properly, what happens when you seek it, and how closure is much needed. Breakups can be devastating, not just due to the lost partnership, but also if there is lack of clarity about why things ended. It is very important to understand that closure after breakup allows one to restructure their past, present, and future by understanding what went wrong and reconfiguring their story. In a non-abusive relationship, giving the true reasons as to why the relationship or equation is ending or has ended is the kindest and most honest thing to do. Closure can be important in a relationship because it can help people move on, heal, and accept the end of a relationship. This helps people to find peace, heal properly, and embrace new beginnings. Closure can also help people let go of the past and start planning for the future. When we reconstruct and move away from any kind of grief of the past, closure can help people understand what went wrong and reconfigure their stories. Closure can also help people detach from unresolved emotions and conflicts. Moving forward is something that closure can help people move on in all aspects of their life. However, closure can also be a triggering point. In terms of mental health, a trigger is an event, thought, or person that negatively affects our emotional state. An attempt to get closure may trigger or amplify existing insecurities, sometimes even leading to new insecurities. For example, if your partner no longer wants to be in a relationship with you, you might want to ask them why. Doing this is an attempt at getting a closure. While you might want to understand why things are ending, finding out this information can be a very triggering and a traumatic process as well. Sometimes we are triggered by how we interpret their responses. For example, what a former partner may say if we ask them why the relationship is over versus ways we might interpret what their responses means. For instance, we might start thinking when someone says to us, "I don't love you anymore. I found someone else. I need time or space. I'm not ready, and you are too needy." Why do we feel to know the reason for a breakup that matters so much to us. Inherently, humans understand the world through stories. We create a past, present, and future and navigate our world through this cognitive structuring. Most healthy intimate relationships generally have a good sense of where they have been, where they stand, and where they are heading. Similarly, within the story structure, we have a good sense of who we are and how we feel within each part of the story. Although this can change depending on our current mood when reflecting. When a one-sided breakup occurs, however, it traumatically interrupts the story for the person on the receiving end, particularly if the breakup was unexpected. By knowing the reasons why relationship is not working, the initiator of the breakup has already sorted out his or her story. However, the person being broken up with is thrust from being in safe psychological territory into a deep abyss, particularly if the relationship was seemingly safe, secure, and serious. A similar analogy can be made, for instance, when one discovers that his or her partner has transgressed the sanctity of the relationship. The advice that only you can give yourself for a closure is so prevalent, perhaps because it offers the person who has broken up with the illusion of control in a situation where realistically none exists. The premise is essentially correct. We are all responsible for our own lives. However, without offering proper guidance on how to find closure, it can serve to make things so worse. This is because when someone is rejected and refused honest answers about why the relationship ended, they are left depleted of their dignity and respect. Thus, the advice to get your own closure infuses the notion that the person who has been rejected is now responsible for moving past a decision they do not fully understand, and therefore they cannot psychologically reconcile and did not make and are thus insufficiently prepared to navigate and process their emotions. Why is it important to heal? When something is lost or taken away, healing should be the main priority. To do this, we have to accept what once was is no longer present and work through those emotions. This perspective questions the intention behind needing closure. What happens after you've heard the other person's side? If they don't say what you need or you find their words hard to accept, what is next for you? Searching for closure might be an excuse to hold on to something that no longer serves you. When given a closure, we can restructure our past, present, and future in a healthy way by understanding what went wrong and reconfiguring our story accordingly. When we are refused closure, however attempts to understand what happened flood the conception of our past, present, and future. We are left to wonder, what did I do? How could someone I thought I knew so well do this to me? How can I trust myself to make future decisions when my past decisions have caused me so much pain? Without answers to why a breakup occurred, the way we view our reality through our past, present, future structure can become very, very fogged. because we lose our sense of what we know about who we are and the trust that we have in our decisions. While this is generally mediated by things like personality, social comparison, available others, attachment styles, and mood, not receiving closure can nevertheless be a deeply traumatic experience. Healing from a broken relationship is very important because it allows you to process the emotional pain for rebuilding your self esteem, learn from the experience, and move forward to future healthy relationships without being burdened by the past. Essentially, it protects your mental health and emotional well being, preventing lingering negativity and enabling you to fully engage in new connections. Unprocessed heartbreak can lead to depression, anxiety, and low self worth, significantly impacting your overall mental health. By taking time to heal, you can make more conscious choices in future relationships, avoiding patterns that contributed to the previous breakup. The process of healing encourages introspection, allowing you to identify personal needs and areas for growth. Moving on from a past relationship with unresolved issues can lead to unhealthy dynamics in future partnerships. Successfully navigating a breakup builds emotional resilience, allowing you to better cope with future challenges.